Eaters, to a new year and a new podcast series. Zot Thoughts, brought to you by ATV. My name is Sherwin.
And I'm Noel.
And we're just going to go over some new expectations for some new students we know coming in this fall quarter. We're going to give you our experiences as a fourth year and Noel as a third year.
Incoming third year, yeah.
So we're excited to just give our thoughts and also just see how our summer was, right?
Yeah. So how was your summer?
Honestly, I would say a little fun, a little lackluster. I just was working a lot. I did an internship, like a lot of other people, starting the summer or the end of summer. Mm-hmm. And summer session.
Oh, yeah. I only took summer session 1, but I took math 2B during summer session 1.
Oh, how was that?
It was hard, especially it was 5 weeks. So it was like half the time at what it would be normally during the school year. And I know people say that it's already hard during the school year. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the summer session, because you have that shorter duration of time, you got to be like on everything, like on top of everything.
Yeah, it goes by like so fast. If you get behind, then you're like done.
Yeah. That's what I would recommend for any other animators that want to do summer classes in the future. Just make sure you know what classes and the professors, because it just makes everything a little more easier for you. And I learned my mistake actually fall quarter of last year, because I was actually a transfer student. So I came in my third year, completely new to UCI, but I was a junior, so I felt like I'm like a really old freshman. So I remember my biggest mistake was not going on my professor.
Oh, ratemyprofessor.com, yeah.
And I made a mistake, and I got 2 professors who were a little tricky for me, I would say, for my classes, and it was a whole different experience. And then I learned from that mistake. And the winter quarter was so much more smoother for me personally.
Yeah, I would say my first quarter at UCI was also pretty rough.
Really?
Yeah, because I came from out of state. I came from Georgia. So California itself was just like a whole different environment, but also college is also very different from high school. So, and also being away from home. So It was like...
Did you ever feel homesick?
At the beginning, yeah, but it got a lot better throughout the year. The more I stayed, like the more I got used to it. And I know people say that the more often you go home, like the harder it'll be to deal with the homesickness, like as the year goes on. So like go home every like holiday or something like that, not like every weekend or every like month.
I feel like for you it'll be tough because it's all in Georgia too.
Yeah, no, but for a lot of people who are dorming, like they live like 4 hours away. Like, I mean, if you want, like it's doable every weekend, but I would say,
UCI typically, like, there's a lot of commuters for sure.
I just say UCI is a commuter school. I have heard that.
Yeah, I would say in OC, I think Fullerton's more of a commuter school, because I know some friends that also go there. Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of people that either live on campus, but their family's like 2 hours away or 3 hours away. And they do, like on the weekend, go back home. And I feel like it does cause that like conflicting feeling of like, am I still in college or am I just going back home, staying with them?
Yeah, I know I have like a college mode and then I have like a home mode. I don't know, I just feel different when I'm at home.
What's your college mode?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a lot more open in college. Like I'm a lot more spontaneous, I would say.
I feel like that's a good thing, because like college is a new experience. You kind of want to learn new things, experience new things, meet new people. And I feel like I recommend people, like new students for sure, whether you're a transfer or a freshman, just join clubs, be more spontaneous and open to new things, because I feel like it'll make your college experience a lot better too.
Yeah, I know. I definitely was, a little like shy during high school, and then being out of state, like coming in first year, I was like, okay, I know no one here. Like, it's kind of up to me to kind of like meet new people and everything. So I tried to be a lot more open, and then from that point I think it kind of just like grew, like it got like a lot easier after a while. And then after that I just meet so many new people. It's just like, oh wait, there's this like fun in meeting people you don't know.
It gets to the point where you meet so many people, like, oh whoa, I don't know too many people. But like for me personally, like I really enjoyed my time joining clubs like ATV, for example. Just I met like a lot of new people, and I feel like it broke that shell that I came, because I came as a third year, so I feel like, wow, these people already have friends established time together. So it felt like it was harder for me to meet new people. But once I put my mind out there and just joined clubs, it was really fun and easy.
Yeah, I know. My roommates, my first year was actually like all knew each other in high school. So I came in, I was like, whoa, like, you know, it's kind of a different vibe here, like, because all of them knew each other, and I was like kind of like the random one put in. So I was like, wait, like I got kind of intimidated to just be like, try to be there, you with them, you know? Yeah,
I get that.
Like, you know, after a while, like you get used to it. Like it gets a lot better.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend also. I don't know how the housing situation is for the new students, but for me, I'm just glad I can kind of eventually move out of the dorms, the apartments, and just get my own place or move in with a bunch of friends. Because I know there's a lot of issues sometimes with the housing situation in Irvine.
Yeah, I think I was lucky because I was out of state, so I got dorm my first year. But then I transferred into in-state status my second year last year, but I got the dorms again. So
Were you trying to get the dorms again, or were you trying to get?
No, I wanted to get the dorms again, but I heard that because last year was still like a little bit from COVID, so they weren't having any like priority housing for CHC, because I think CHC honors and transfers get priority housing usually.
I remember I think I could have gone ACC for my first year at UCI, but I either did it really late or I just didn't understand the process of it, like the application process, and I ended up getting a dorm instead of the ACCs. So I was like, okay, well, gotta make do with what I got.
What dorm were you in?
I was in Aurora Vista.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was like more of the sophomores, juniors, seniors. Yeah. I had a good time. It was a good experience. There were some moments where I'm like, man, I wish I had an apartment or wish I lived in a house. But honestly, like, I loved my roommate. I met a lot of new people too, because you're just mushed into a big dorm.
Yeah.
So you're like bound to meet people.
Yeah, no, my hall, it was like 48 people or something, like in one hall, because it was 4 people in one room for me. So I had 3 roommates, and it was like more than 10 rooms like in this floor. So it was always just constantly people in the room, people outside the hallways, and then when you go to class, like it's people.
How is that living in like a small room with 4 other people?
I mean, personally, I don't mind, because growing up, I never had my own room. I always shared it with my sister, so like I'm always used to having people around. But I know my roommate, like this past year, it was a little, not like a struggle, but like it was a little like, you know, she had to adjust a little bit at the beginning, because she was an only child, so she had like her own room, and like she was very used to being in her own space and everything. And having like 3 more roommates, including me, she was like, you know, it was definitely a shift, but yeah, I think like it worked out fine. Like we're great.
That's good. That's amazing. Yeah, honestly, to stem off of like our summer experience, because you said you told me you did an internship the past summer, correct?
Yeah. It wasn't an internship like for a company though. It was just an internship in UCI. So there was this program called the Administrative Internship Program, and I applied for that, and then I got paired to be an intern for the School of Business, which is great because I'm a business major. So I was just doing that during the summer, and then I actually got promoted to like paid role. So now I've just been doing that paid role. Now? Yeah.
It's nice though when they finally start paying. So you were saying about your internship, right?
Yeah. So I got promoted to a paid student assistant role for the project management office in the School of Business. Yeah.
Wow.
So
it's a pretty big job, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm excited because I do a lot of events like hosting, because I know my mentor, who's also the director, she also just got promoted too. So she does a lot of like events hosting for alumni and also just people from like orgs outside the school. So I've been doing a lot of that. Yeah.
I have a question for maybe new students coming to UCI. They want to plan to do apply for internships, something like that. how was the process? Could you like give them some tips and tricks?
Applying for internships, I think you definitely have to start early. I know for summer internships, if you really want to get internships from like big companies like Amazon, Google, or like the big four in accounting like PwC, EY, things like that, a lot of them open during the summer. Like they open from August and they can go all the way to like the end of October, but that's a very like wide range usually. I know there's a thing called like September surge. I don't know if that's like a professional job thing or like also an internship like thing for students.
But for yours was on campus, like it was at UCI.
Yeah. Mine was on campus, so
is that a whole different like application?
that's a whole different thing.
Okay.
Like I thought you were talking about like internships
Oh, no,
outside.
I mean, both I feel like could apply though, because you have to start really early, regardless. Because I know the process can take a long time. Interview process. Like, did yours have multiple interviews?
Yeah, I had 3.
Oh.
I had 3. Yeah.
Did you feel confident after the first one, or was it like, oh, I don't know?
I don't know. The first one was okay, I say, but I feel like the later 2 were definitely better. But the position that I wanted the most was the last interview that I had, and I also got that position. So it worked out for me, luckily. But I feel like internships and interviews, like they're scary.
Because I feel like they're a whole different like interview process than like for like a regular job or something. Because I feel like those internships are like they're a lot more stressful.
A lot of it's like how well are you able to sell yourself to the company? Yeah, because like you're not the only college like student that wants the position. It's like you competing with like thousands of people, so it's tough. Yeah.
Oh, I bet. I had that similar situation when I applied for my internship. It was way in advance. I had like 3 interviews. Each interview I was stressing super hard. I was like, but I feel like after the second one, I'm like, okay, they have to like me some point.
Have you had a lot of like group interviews or just individual interviews?
The first, most of them were in a one-on-one interviews.
Oh, because I came in like just thinking that most of them were gonna be individual, but then I ended up having like a handful of group interviews, and I was surprised. Yeah, that was definitely different.
Going through back to like our own experiences as UCI students, what recommendations would you really give to like new students or even new transfer students? Like, how did your experiences shape you and change you at UCI?
Okay. I know you said you were a transfer.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I started at UCI my first year, so it's definitely gonna be from freshman point of view. I think coming in my first year, it was just, I guess I was just very, very intimidated. But the more I spent time here, the more I grew into it. And I think it's really important to know that you're not the only one in that position. Like everybody is coming in, or I mean, most people might be coming in from high school, and then it's also a change for them. And I think what really helped me was realizing that, I might not be the only one that's like intimidated and scared in this environment. So
were you more intimidated by just the school itself, or like other students, or the course load?
Course load wasn't something I was thinking about. When I was coming no, when I was coming in, I was mostly more worried about like living independently away from home, because that was the first time I was gonna be away from home for a long time. And
was your family still in Georgia?
No, my family actually moved here to California with me. I wanted to go to UCI and they moved here with me, but cool. I lived in the dorm, so like they were still outside. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I have family in Irvine, but I live on my own as well.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely helpful to notice that like, you're not the only one going through this. And I like, if you wish that you had someone that was just like reach out to you first and like, get to know you first, like talk to you first, like be that person. Yeah.
I had the same mentality. Like at first, as a third year, but I was still so new to UCI as a campus. Like I'd always get lost. Like I'm trying to find a classroom or a library. I'm like asking other professors or other students, like, hey, do you know where this is? Do you know where that is? So it took me a long time just to get more familiar with the campus. And then I would, at first I felt like I wasn't as social because I was just a little nervous.
Yeah, definitely. I feel it too, yeah.
Because I came from high school. Then COVID,
Mm-hmm.
I went to CC, and those first 2 years, everything was mainly online. So rarely saw other people, rarely talked to professors one-on-one. And UCI has most of the classrooms are very big. They have like auditorium or like big lecture
Yeah, they
halls.
have like 200, 300 people in the lecture.
And sometimes I feel like you don't have that one-on-one relationship with the professor.
Yeah.
So that definitely changes how you might be learning and stuff like that. So I feel sometimes you might not feel like you're being heard. So you have to definitely utilize like TA office hours or appointments with your professor, because I feel like that way the professor will see that you're engaging and you can build that relationship.
Yeah, I know one thing I learned is that if you want something, then you have to like
Go
get it. Yeah, because in an environment where there's like 200, 300 people in a lecture, right, and the professor like is probably teaching multiple classes, then like if you want something, you're gonna have to like go talk to them, like be like, you can't just be like, oh hey, like, you know, ask your friend like, hey, have you heard about this, have you heard about that? Like if you want it, you have to, you know, go get it. Because especially also like for me, when I talked to the registrar like financial aid, when I had to like transfer from like in-state and out-of-state tuition, it was just like
it was a process.
It was a process. Yeah, like
financial aid, it could be a little tricky sometimes, especially the department. Like I remember I would try to get a hold of them because of some issues, and they got back to me, but it took a while, I would say.
Yeah, I would say no. It's also because there's a lot of students that are also like anxious about it, so like they keep calling, and then you're also like in line for it.
Yeah, I feel like you also have to basically just take a moment, like coming to school for your first time as a freshman or transfer. It's gonna be hectic the first quarter for sure. Like
definitely,
just getting used to
yeah.
everything. But honestly, it's gonna be fine. You know, just let it just happen. You're gonna go with the flow, and I feel like the more you get used to it, the more you put yourself out there, it just gets easier.
Yeah,
everything takes
definitely put yourself out there. Like join clubs, or like, you know, go to games, or like go to like, you know, the dramas, like the, you know,
have some
the school
spirit. That's what we're saying. Yeah, talking to you guys. But yeah, totally. I feel like if you just put yourself out there, school becomes so much more fun.
And like the way that you become friends with people, I'd say, is like in ways that you cannot like possibly like think of. Because I was just eating like in the dining hall, right, and then this group of people sat next to me, and then we started talking, and like that's how I became friends with like one of my closest friends. So
that's how easy
like,
it's your future friend for like 10-20 years. You just literally meet them.
I remember like I was just like eating, and they came in, and I was like, whoa, okay.
That's what I feel like college can also give you. It can give you a lot of opportunities to meet people, make connections if you want to do something future down the line for your career path. And I feel like schools like UCI give you a way more opportunities than like other schools out there. I feel like
I do think that it's like UCI, or just the college experience in general, like is definitely what you make of it. Like the more you're willing to reach out, the more you're willing to like participate and like get to know people and like put yourself out there, the more you're gonna gain back. Yeah, that's definitely something that I learned.
Any other tips you probably want to give them?
Okay, so I know UCI, I was really like lost on campus. I'm also just bad at with directions in general, but UCI is also really big, so
it's a big
it's really big. So if there's like an app that you have like for wait, no, we have one.
I think we do.
We have Zot Finder, right?
Zot Finder,
yeah.
It's a little tricky to use for me. I don't know. Like,
really?
I try to use it. Like, I remember like beginning of fall. It got to the point where like I got to some places, but I'm like, I'll just figure it out. I use Google Maps or like.
I mean, Google Maps works. Yeah.
For the most part, most of the stuff on campus is on Google Maps.
I know. Zot Finder, I actually use Zot Finder like quite often when I first came here. But I realized that it usually takes me like the roundabout way, like the official way, you know, like the longer way. Like instead of just cutting through the park in the middle, it takes me like around the park. So.
Well, do you put it on like that vehicle mode or walking mode or something?
I didn't even know there was a mode.
Yeah, because it makes a difference. Like if you're walking, obviously it gives you the directions where there's not streets and everything. So I feel like it can be a little easier. It just takes a little longer.
Yeah, well. Now I know. No, but I think being here for like 2 years, I think, I don't know, there's still some places that I don't know.
Sometimes I still get lost.
Yeah.
Because it's either areas that I haven't been to or been to recently. So even this like past summer, barely been on campus, I'm like, wow, what happened? I kind of forgot a little bit.
I know there's a lot of like construction going on during summer.
Oh my god, there's always something being done.
And then like I don't know, for me like I memorize places like based on like the buildings or like the signs, and like if construction is going on, I was like, wait, is this where I'm supposed to be? Like I get lost because it, I don't see it.
Yeah, you were like, you get too familiar with something and then slight changes messes it.
Do you have a scooter on campus?
No, but I honestly should. Everyone, I see everyone with electric scooters. I either want to get a bike or an electric scooter because I feel like it'll make things easier. But I feel like now that I'm living a little further from campus, I'm gonna just probably have to drive and then buy a parking pass.
Yeah, I know. Because for people like dorming, they usually either have like skateboards or scooters, or they walk. Yeah.
That was me last year at AV. I would always either walk or take the school bus or like the
Anteater Express. Yeah, I do that too. I take it.
Those were clutch. Those were clutch, especially because the first like fall quarter, I just did not do any of that. Like I didn't take Anteater Express. I was just like not even used to it.
Were you just walking the whole time?
Yeah.
The whole time?
25 minutes all the time.
No.
It was definitely a learning experience. So I definitely recommend Anteater Express. But if you're also close on campus, scooter, skateboard, something that just makes it a lot quicker.
Yeah, I know.
I always see these people on these like one wheel.
Oh yeah.
And they're zooming. They're like going 25 miles an hour. I'm like, dang.
I know. People on bikes too. They have like bikes and then they just go like. Yeah.
More power to them. At least they're wearing a helmet.
But I think it kind of might like it can be a little like bit of a hassle though, because like if you go to class and then like you have to like take care of your scooter and then you like lock it up and like definitely get locks for your bikes and your scooters, please.
Quick question: what's your favorite like on spot campus like food place? Whether it's a diner, the cafeteria, or like.
I usually just like UTC.
UTC?
Yeah, I like UTC.
What's your favorite like go-to spot?
Probably Cha.
Cha?
Yeah, Cha or Share. I'm like a really big boba addict, so
I got more into boba, honestly. It took me a minute, but it's just the lines are so long.
Yeah.
I would always like wait like maybe 20 minutes sometimes. I'm like just for boba.
20 minutes though?
I'll probably go whenever it's like really busy though. That's my only
thought. Okay. No, because like I know for Chow you can order on like the website. You order ahead and then you go pick it up.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I should know that.
No, but like if that's me, like if I just really want a craving and like if I go alone, I do that. But then sometimes it's like the process of just like going there like with your friends, that's kind of the fun of it.
I feel like if you're going with people, it's like, okay, time's gonna go a little faster. We're just gonna socialize and just struggle all together.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell?
I mean, how was your experience as a transfer? Yeah.
As a transfer, I think I went over it. It was just, I literally just felt like a freshman in a junior's body. Like I don't know how that. It was just, it was tough, but when time went on, I kind of just got used to it. And as you said, just put yourself out there. It became super easy.
Yeah, I know. Academically too, was it hard?
That's a good. Yeah. I was taking a lot of upper division classes, so the change from CC to on campus, it became a lot more difficult for me to adjust. But after fall quarter, I got the hang of it. I'm like, okay, I got this.
No, because I like academically, like UCI is not like UCI is a pretty academically rigorous school, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So like that was one thing that I learned. Like I kind of had to take some time to find that balance between school and just like work and social life, because that first quarter at UCI was rough for me. It was really rough for me to balance everything.
It was probably, I don't know if was your freshman year fall quarter the toughest quarter for you, or?
I think spring quarter freshman year was the toughest for me.
Okay.
Yeah, fall quarter is a lot about like adjusting and then like transitioning, but spring quarter was when I like first experienced spring burnout. I was burned out like throughout the first year. Yeah.
You're just like, please get out of this place.
I mean, like now that I'm like past 2 years, like it's definitely better, but
I think I'm gonna get senioritis like at the end stretch, like in spring for sure, because I'm gonna graduate spring quarter, and then I might do possible like graduate school afterwards and stuff. But
are you excited?
Nervous, excited. I don't know. It's just, it feels weird because like a part of me, since I was a transfer,
Uh-huh.
I feel like I never got that freshman experience.
That full 4 years experience.
So, but I'm just excited. I'm really excited for the new year. I'm excited for, honestly, the new opportunities. We want to also thank ATV for helping make this beautiful podcast. I want to shout out FMS for letting us borrow their classroom and library area to shoot this. And yeah, Noel, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, and just thank you to Film and Media Studies for letting us borrow the room, and then super excited to be, in Zot Thoughts for the
Zot
first
Thoughts,
time.
yeah. And lastly, we want to also mention ATV is going to be having open applications for the fall quarter for interns, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you. I'm Noel.
And I'm Sherwin.
And follow us on Instagram and YouTube at
TikTok
TikTok at AnteaterTV.
Yep. Bye.
See you next time.